Today we're back in my Redstone testing world. We've been away from this place for a little while due to the new snapshots, but I've just come up with a new Redstone concept that I think should work in 1.13.2 that involves shulker boxes, and hopefully it should be pretty useful for those of you who have lots of very big farms. This is me from the future to say that after I recorded this video, while I was editing it, I thought I'd look to see if there was any other designs, and it turns out there's a few out there, so I'll put links to those down in the description. But anyway, here's my experiment. Hopefully, when I put a shulker box that's filled in with sugarcane on the inside of here, it should get dispensed automatically, and then we should get one piece of sugarcane removed by the system, which I think it's safe to say all of that has happened. That's exciting. Oh, and also this hopper has been locked instantly, so that means that no extra shulker boxes can flow in while this is in place. Right, now we've got a few extra additions to the system. So we've also got this little piston line here. I've also had to readjust a lot of the circuitry, and now I've started adding in a sorting system for the item that has been removed from the shulker box. I'm sure some of you are starting to understand what's happening here. And if you're sat there thinking, I don't understand what's happening here, then that's fine as well. I mean, we've got a lot more of the video left to do yet. All will be explained in a little bit. I think it would have been easy. I think it would have made my life easier if I'd actually built this with the sorting system on the other side. Which is frustrating because, as you can see from the redstone on the floor, I originally built it on that side, then concluded it would be easier on this side. Yeah, it totally would have been easier if I'd done it on the other side, actually. Okay, time to do this again. This has to be a joke. I've built the same thing on the wrong side, just in a different colour of blocks. Oh, it's too early in the morning for this. Now, I'll be the first to admit that this is starting to look like a bit of a strange redstone contraption, but this is all good, and it's actually turning into quite a little compact little redstone contraption. I actually really like the way that this is all coming together. So here we have the sorting system, which is going to take the item that has been removed from our shulker box, and it's going to travel along here, and we're going to have one for sugarcane, one for, say for example, bones, one for gunpowder, just all the different things that you'd get from your farms. And when it goes through there, it will activate this redstone, which will then push up this block right here, which will put it in front of this comparator signal. So now this block will be powered, which means it will power anything next to it. Except we want all of them to be powered, and we want it moving to unpower it. I guess we could do something like this. So we'll have to move everything up a tiny bit, but actually that makes life even easier because it means that everything isn't quite so tightly packed in. But now that should all be in place and it should all be working. So all of these hoppers right here are locked, but then when the correct item travels through, so say for example cactus is pulled out from the shulker box there, then it will push that block up. I think it was the second one along, so it will push that block up, unlocking this hopper, in theory, allowing our cactus shulker box to then travel through into this chest. So it will have been automatically sorted out and put into the correct chest in the sorting system. I think that might be almost everything. All we have to do is add in the breaker circuit. So this is the circuit that is going to be breaking our shulker box, and then we have to put in the reset circuit, which is this line over here. And I guess I could probably just hook that up into that redstone torch, but we'll do that in a couple seconds. First off, I just want to try out this thing. Okay, so there we have one. Oh, and we need to do this reset. Okay, so we have one full shulker box that is completely filled in with sugarcane. Now here comes the moment of truth. If I place this in here, not a good start. Okay, after some slight rewiring, let's try that again. Hopefully it actually gets dispensed this time. Wow, really? It really doesn't dispense. Why is that? Is that because of that redstone block? It could be because of that redstone block right there. Okay, we've rewired it once again, so now the redstone block is next to the hopper and hopefully shouldn't interfere with this dispenser. So here we have a shulker box filled with sugarcane. It goes in, gets dispensed, and has ended up in the correct place. Nice! Okay, so that worked. Reset line. Which is a little bit more frustrating than I was expecting because it needs a slightly longer delay than I was expecting. Ideally, I'd like to be able to automatically detect it. I don't think there's a simple way of me being able to do that, so I was going to do it based off of timings. Which I have been able to do, but I will warn you, it's a little bit of an unconventional use of the pulse extender. You see, with this short pulse that comes out of the system, it's actually turned into a redstone clock. So this piston goes back and forth, and you would think that that would constantly reset the system, but it actually doesn't because the pulse length is so short, these pistons don't even recognize it. So all you get is a very loud noise. But most importantly, and amazingly, considering all the silly things I've done today, it works. It actually functions. Except it totally doesn't. I don't fully understand why. Is this actually going through? No, there's no gunpowder coming through the system. That really is odd. This is the first time that we're having a problem with this part of the system. We've been using it all day. And now suddenly items aren't being taken out of that dispenser. No matter what I seem to do with the timings. They just... It's because they're empty shulker boxes. I've been trying to fix that problem for the past 10 to 15 minutes. I've basically teared this place apart, replaced all of it. I was assuming there was something wrong with hoppers in Minecraft. I was going to contact Mojang with a bug report. That's how far I was going with this. So now it is back up and running, and as you can see, these chests, they are all completely empty. None of them have any items on the inside. These are the items that should end up in the chests, and up at the top here, we have got ourselves some fully filled in shulker boxes. So this green one is my gunpowder, this orange one is of course my sugarcane, and this grey one is of course my pumpkins. It all makes total sense. So if we throw each one of these into here, you can see that our system kicks into action. So it is currently sorting through the first shulker box, and you can see we've got lights flashing, things happening, and then there is the second shulker box that has just been shot through into the circuitry, and then eventually the final one makes its way into the system, and when this whole thing switches off, we should see they will all be in the correct place. So, there is our sugarcane, that's all good, nothing in here, nothing in here. That one there is our gunpowder, very nice. And this one here is our pumpkins. This thing is actually up and running, and is really quite simple. That crazy setup with the flashing redstone and moving pistons and things like that was getting quite frustrating though, so I have made a slight modification, and now everything works smoothly and most importantly, quietly. Nice. So if you wanted to build this for yourselves in your survival world, then this element right here, so all of this stuff is one wide and tileable. You can expand this out for as many items as you like. You're not just limited to 6 modules. You can have, well yeah, as many as you like, as many farms as you have. The only thing that you'd have to change is you'd have to increase the length of the pulse extender, because of course it will take longer for the item to reach the end. So the reset times will have to be a tiny bit longer, but that's nothing too serious. Out the front here, that is just one unit. You just need that at the start. And then of course, add to each one of your farms, you're going to need to have a bulk shulker box loading system, which is one of these lovely little systems. So here we have our shulker box, and as this fills up with items, eventually it will fill right the way up, and then as you can see, it gets broken by the piston, and then a new one is instantly placed in, and it will continue to fill up with items from the farm. And of course, these are what are then going to end up in your shulker box sorting system. So essentially, you can take all of the drops from all of your farms and get them all into this tiny little system right here. I mean, can you imagine how many items? I mean, how many items would that be? It would be 93,312, aka way more cactus than you're ever going to need in your entire life. Stop farming it, jeez. So inside this tiny little setup, you'd have more items than you would have in a considerably larger traditional storage system. I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of this thing. I do hope that you enjoyed this little redstone video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and as per usual, check out the links on the end screen for the filming channel stuff. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.